we're about getting you the best products. So during the formulation process, it was more about how can we make sure that this soap is actually helping their scalp? What process can we go about making these that's going to give them the biggest benefit so they can see real results?
What's good, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Dreadlock Talk. I'm your host, Troy Blyden, and today we have not one, but two very special guests. I've been following these guys' journey for a minute, so I'm really excited for this conversation. You don't want to miss this one. My guests today are two Florida-born entrepreneurs who back in 2015 started their own natural hair journey, which eventually led them to start their own company called FreeTheRoots. Now today, FreeTheRoots sells a variety of natural hair, skin, and body products, and they've grown a community of over 40,000 people on Instagram. Without further ado, I want to welcome to the show Nicholas and Joshua Thompson. Gentlemen, welcome.
What's up?
What's up, Troy? Thank you.
Yeah, of course. I appreciate y'all, getting this interview with me.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good one, I'm telling you, because, a lot of my viewers, they have Freeform Locs, and that's something y'all specialize in, but not just Freeform Locs. It's like natural hair and, staying away from chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
So
100%.
let's get right into your brand and the products. Like, what led you to start FreeTheRoots?
Want to take that one?
Yeah, so basically we had started freeforming our hair. Well, let me take you back from the beginning. So we wanted dreads since like high school, but I guess we didn't really have the confidence to do it. And then after we graduated high school, it was just like, this time let's do it. It was me, him, and then our best friend Damien, and we were just like, let's just do it. So then we were like, all right, how do we want to, start the locks? And I wasn't even aware of Freeform Locs. And then I started doing my YouTube searches, different types of locks and things. So I ended up coming across Freeform Locs, and I'm just like, this just feels right. Like, it's a locks by Marley. We're Jamaican heritage, so it was a certain respect there. So we went ahead and was like, let's just do the freeform. So we went with it.
Yeah, I mean, from the FreeTheRoots standpoint, it goes that's the first part of the story, but we wanted to start a business together, you know. And
that was years later.
That was years later. Years when we were already in our freeform journey.
For sure.
And do you remember our first business that we tried to start together?
Yeah, the pool business.
Pool business.
Pool cleaning.
We never owned a pool in our life.
It's Florida though. There's
But
pools everywhere.
we're like we can learn to clean some pools, and this is gonna be a good business idea. And our uncle was like, all right, try it. So we were building strategies, and then it just crashed and burned because we're like, we don't feel no passion towards this. So we went back to him and we're like, yeah, that's not gonna work. He was like, do something that you're passionate about. So we thought about it, and we're like, passionate about Freeform Locs. So
it didn't take much thought.
Yeah, it was pretty easy when it came. It came, and then we started the Instagram under the name Natural Roots Global.
Yeah, that's what it was at first. Had a Bob Marley logo as the as the profile picture.
Yeah, and then it just kept growing from there. And this was before we had the official idea to have products. We were just like, let's grow a community. That was the very first thing. We didn't know how we were going to make money from it, but we knew we needed a community if we were going to start anything. So all of our energy went into building the community. And our initial idea was to have a platform to where people can go on and use products that they trust. So we're going to kind of like grab products from all over the place, the best ones. And, it all starts with soap. When Freeform Locs, how you clean your hair is the most important thing. And we tried everything. We're not going to name companies. We're not trying to throw companies in the dirt, but we were trying a lot of different things. And
we tried out for a long time.
My first video on YouTube about my locks was saying how I'm done using Dr. Bronner's. That stuff causes mad buildup. I'm not putting them on the spot. You don't got to say nothing about it. But me personally, it didn't work for me. But yeah, continue.
Yeah, so, scientist right here said, I'm gonna make soap. He was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna learn to do this, and I trust him. I trust his ability. So I was like, all right, how long? Like 6 months or 8 months?
It took like a good 8 months.
Yeah, and we're
to
just
really get it down.
in that time we're just building a community, literally just helping people. We had nothing to offer but advice, and that's what we rolled with. And we were helping people through their freeform journey. And every time they asked, what soap should I use? I was like, well, I'm not sure you could trust everything out there, but we're cooking up a recipe. What do you want to see in soap? They'll tell us. I'll kind of give him, well, this is what everyone's looking for. So at the end of that 6 to 8 month process, what was the first bar that you had? I don't know if you remember.
Can't remember.
Can't remember?
No.
Man,
it kind of all came at one time.
Yeah,
man.
well, it was way more than just like 4 or 5 bars. Yeah, like 9 bar, 10, about 10 bar recipes, and made them all. They were legit the best bars I've ever tried in my life. And my mama said the same thing. Well, our mama said the same thing. Yeah. So I was like, man, you hit the jackpot on these. So we released them, and then the rest is history. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
what's up, man. And this is like the best of both worlds for me, because like I was telling you off camera, like I'm really into entrepreneurship. Like that stuff just really inspires me.
Me too.
So I'm really interested to know, how you came up with the formulas and the ingredients to make your soap bars. Could you kind of break that down?
Okay, well,
because I'm hearing you're the scientist behind the operation.
Science, yeah. I mean, I got my degree in biology, so
yeah, he won't call himself a scientist. He's a scientist.
I wouldn't say a scientist. I just know a little bit about science, and that helps, in the formulating of the soaps. So really, it was just, getting a book and just reading how to make soap. It was that simple. I read about 2 of those books, and then the process, it didn't seem too complicated, so I was just like, the important thing to me is to make something unique, though. Because if I'm there's a bunch of soap companies, a bunch of bar soap companies. It's about something very specific for what our community needed, which was to be used in their Locs. So, one of the biggest things for me was in the soap making process, you have the oils mixed with lye, right? So then that creates a soap, right? So what a lot of companies do is they mix the ingredients through that whole chemical creation process. And what I did instead was I did that process first, got the soaps, and then I added the ingredients after, so you could get all those ingredients when you use the bars.
So basically, so this is called like cold process compared to hand milling, right? So with cold process, and this is everything he taught me, but with cold process, you basically, all the ingredients that are using is mixed with lye. You know what I mean? So
mixed with what?
Lye, which
what
is sodium hydroxide.
Sodium hydroxide.
It's the way you make soap. You can't make soap without it. So how you make soap is you combine oil with sodium hydroxide.
That's how you make natural soap.
Yeah, that's how unnatural soap is made
like
different. But
Dove, that's like just synthetic ingredients.
But
Irish Spring, all that.
All that stuff, that's synthetic ingredients.
Yeah,
but
that's the stuff you really shouldn't be
the
putting
real
in
way
there.
to make the real natural way to make soap is to use oils and lye. And if you add your essential oils, your colorants, you can make a prettier soap that way because you could kind of manipulate it better. But all those ingredients are interacting with lye, which takes away from the authentic benefits, I guess, or the authentic form of those ingredients. So what like Nick was explaining, like we make the cold process, and then after that we hand mill it. And during that hand milling process, the lye is, tell me if I'm using the right terms, evaporates out. So basically,
it doesn't evaporate out, no.
Not so. What's the right term?
It's consumed during the reaction with the oils.
It's consumed, yeah. So
basically, it goes away.
Yeah,
essentially, yeah.
So, and that's why I say evaporates. It's wrong terminology. But so after we do that, then we add the colorants like for herb garden, spirulina. You know what I mean? You're getting the more of the benefits out of the spirulina compared if you add it when you were making cold process, and all the essential oils. So we're not even though our soaps, they look pretty, but we're not like a pretty company. You know what I mean? We're about getting you the best products. So during the formulation process, it was more about how can we make sure that this soap is actually helping their scalp? What process can we go about making these that's gonna give them the biggest benefits so they can see real results? That was the whole mindset behind it. And then he just did his thing. So
what led y'all to having that mindset of like, natural everything. Was it directly connected to you having Freeform Locs, or were you always like that?
For me, 100%.
Yeah.
That got me into natural living. So
yeah, I would definitely say the Freeform Locs.
Yeah.
Before Freeform Locs, I was using like Dove and stuff.
Yeah,
wow.
It's just something about it that connects you back to the world and to the earth in general, and you just, I don't know. I know for me, it just made me want to just do everything just all natural. Sure.
Yeah, he was a lot more testing than me or Damien when it came to trying out the best natural way. Yeah. But and here's the thing, with Freeform Locs, you don't have the luxury. I'm not gonna call it. It's not really luxury. You don't have the luxury of using unnatural stuff. Because if you do, you're going to have buildup. Your hair's gonna be dirty. Like it's not. You literally cannot go about freeforms that way, or else you're not going to have healthy freeforms. So it almost forces you to dive into natural products, and everyone knows once you use natural products, you can't go back. You know what I mean? It's kind of like if you're drinking Coke your whole life, and then you finally start drinking water for like a few months, and you're like, oh, whoa.
You're just gonna feel much better.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, okay, I can't go back to that now that, you know, once you taste something good or you do something that's good for your body or your mind, you can't revert. You know what I mean? And when you do, you feel the effects of it. So when you're going freeforms, it's that same exact thing. You can't go back to that unnatural way of living, or else you're gonna internally cringe at the end of the day. So that's what got me personally into natural living, and I'm guessing Nick too.
Yeah,
so,
I would agree.
Yeah.
I feel the passion coming out of y'all with that. This is a brand with purpose. That's what that says to me, you know.
For sure.
And for those listening and not watching the video, we're in a park right now, so this is very on brand for them. There's a lot of trees and nature around us.
Yeah, my favorite spot in Orlando right here. So.
That's what's up. Yeah. So what's the age difference between y'all?
Not even a year, 11 months.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's damn near
My
twins.
mom had me and then got pregnant right after.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Did you guys always get along as kids growing up?
Yeah.
I mean, in the very, very, very early years, my dog did stuff like try to drown me in the bathtub and stuff.
We got along still though. I bullied him a little, but I had to.
He toughened me up though.
Yeah, that's necessary.
I had to be a big brother. I had to be a good big brother.
Facts.
Facts. If you don't toughen your little brother up, I mean, life gonna hit them hard. Life gonna hit them hard. So, but yeah, for the most part, like we got along our whole entire lives. Like Nick's always been my best friend. So that's just always how it's been.
That's dope. So I'm sure you could see you guys having a business together one day, you know, when you were younger.
Yeah, I would say when I was younger, I didn't even really think of the entrepreneurship as much as when I started getting older. It's something, you know, because a lot of my family preaches, you know, go to school, get a good job, blah, blah, blah. But then I have others in my family that are entrepreneurs, like my uncle, who's like our mentor. So that kind of, just seeing that kind of made me want to be more like him rather than, you know, other people. So
yeah, I mean, not saying the entrepreneurship path is for everyone, because it's not, you know what I mean, it's tough and it's challenging. But at the same time, I'm gonna watch how I say this. It feels good to have a certain level of autonomy over your life. You know what I mean? Not saying we're in full control of everything around us in our lives. Obviously, with coronavirus, we saw we're not. But at the same time, it feels good knowing that you can make decisions for your organization. You know what I mean? So many times, like I've worked in sales jobs, even while we were starting FreeTheRoots, you know, we had to wait until it was making enough to where we could pay ourselves. But there's so many things that I wanted to change. I was like, this could be done better. And when you're in entrepreneurship, when you have that thought, you could actually act on it. You know, and I feel like it helps you to grow more as a person when you can take action on your ideas. And yes, you can do that in a regular job too, because a lot of people do. But you can do it without going through ropes. You know what I mean? So
a lot of people would be more successful just having, you know, a career and having a job and stuff. You just gotta really know yourself. You gotta know what you're capable of, and you gotta know what you want out of your own life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think that's really important for people to hear, because I think nowadays with social media and a lot of entrepreneurs getting a lot of shine nowadays and notoriety, that makes a lot of younger kids think that that's the only way. Well, not the only way, but that's That's like another celebrity now.
Exactly.
So it's like they strive to be an entrepreneur when maybe that's not really who they are.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. No, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
To me, it's kind of like you can have a passion for gardening, right? But not everyone's meant to be a full-blown gardener.
And there's nothing wrong
And
with
there's
that.
and there's nothing wrong with that. There's and being an entrepreneur is the reason I use that analogy. It is being a gardener. You're planting the seeds. You're watching it grow. You're watering it. You're doing all that. Yes, that's why some people have side hustles, and that fulfills them. They can have a full-time job and a side hustle. Like for me, I have a home garden, right? And I love that home garden. I cannot be a full-blown gardener, at least not in this phase of my life. You know what I mean? Because that's just not, I don't have that in me to do. I don't have the time. I don't have the commitment to have all that land and be a full-time gardener. That's what being an entrepreneur is. You got land and you got to work with it. Because if you don't, same way if you're a gardener, the land's going to die. I mean, if you don't water everything. So it's the same mindset. It's hard. It's hard. It's fulfilling, but it's hard.
Yeah.
A lot of risks in being an entrepreneur in general.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like when we left our full-time jobs, like that's a risk. You know what I mean? Because you can wait and just comfortably leave, but when you do that, everything's so delayed. So you have to take the risk sometimes. You have to make the jump. And if you don't have that mindset, not saying it's impossible, but you're going to struggle as an entrepreneur. So it's not for everyone, but for the people that it is for, it's definitely fulfilling. So
Yeah. Josh, you mentioned you were in sales before this?
yeah.
Yeah. What were both of you guys doing before going full time, and what was that transition like?
Oh yeah. So I'm not gonna mention the company, but I was in sales for a company that basically sold IT workers. That's essentially like what you did, and it was like a IT staffing company where you help people get staffed and whatnot. But it was cool, but I went into there with the mindset of I'm not gonna be in this for a full year. Like this is just to hold me down financially until I could jump out of this. But at the same time, I learned so much from that job. You know what I mean? I learned how to interact with people. I learned how to be a good servant, because in a sense, not saying employees are servants, but it helped me to adopt a servant mentality. And as a business owner, you have to have a servant mentality because you're serving people. You know what I mean? So it taught me how to treat people with respect. Even though I already knew that, it's different in business. In business, you really have to treat people with respect, because they're dedicating their time to something and they're making their livelihood off of it. So I learned so much from that job, and I'm so grateful for it. But I couldn't wait to get out and do this. But that's where I was before.
That's what's up. What about you, Nick?
Let's see. I did a couple things before coming here. Like after I had graduated college, at first I was working valet, and that was fun, but it just wasn't, what I wanted to keep doing. So then I had gotten a job at a greenhouse, which was interesting because going to it, I'm like, a greenhouse, that's perfect for me. Nah, man. When you get there, it's like it's more like a factory type job or whatever. So I got out of that, and I didn't really have nothing at that time. It was we had started working on some ideas to try to start the community and grow the community, but other than that, I was kind of just doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to figure out where I wanted to go. And then I got a call from a lab in Orlando, and I ended up working there for like 2 years. Not for 2 years, like a year and a half. So I started that before we actually started like making products and selling products. And then we started making products and selling products. And then it was like I would go to work early in the morning, get off of work, go to my mom's house, make the soaps and we weren't selling mist at that time, but make the soaps or whatever. So it was just like I was just working literally.
Man, that reminds me of being on sales calls. I'd be like, yeah, packaging soap, like, yeah, what's up?
Yeah, it was getting crazy. So then it was just like, I had to make a decision. Am I gonna keep doing this and not really have time to grow the business, or am I gonna leave and just take the risk? So I just decided to leave and take the risk, and it all worked out. So
yeah, never look back.
Yeah, never look back. Yeah, it was definitely nerve-wracking, like just like thinking about it and being like, wow, I'm not gonna have that paycheck.
Yeah.
But then it was just like, we can try to run this up, so then I'll be fine.
Yeah, and then, you know, a lot of people have like plan A's and plan B's, which I personally think that's okay to have. But a lot of people have their full-time job as their plan A and their entrepreneurship stuff as their plan B. Free the Roots was our plan A plus. Our full-time jobs was like a B minus. You know what I mean? To us mentality. So we all, there was no doubt. We knew we were leaving and jumping into this full-time.
It was just a matter of when.
Yeah.
And what's the right timing, which can be hard to figure out. It's never gonna feel like the right time a lot of times.
I mean, look,
So,
for every entrepreneur out there, I'm gonna tell you right now, the best timing is around Black Friday season. If you want to jump out and you want to build a year strategy, and from January, you want to get out during that season, because that's when you could gain a lot more new customers and have real good marketing strategies. If you're a product-based business. So, yeah, just, you know.
Hey, aspiring entrepreneurs, take notes.
Free
Black
advice.
Friday. That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you said that your uncle is a big mentor for you.
Yeah,
How
for sure.
Huge.
how helpful has he been, you know, with you being a full-time entrepreneurs now? Like, what role has he played? Like, what has that mentorship role meant to you?
Man, from everything from the investments to the advice. You know what I mean? He believes in us, and he knows that we're willing to work for it. So he basically it's how do I put it? It's not like he runs us with his ideas, because a lot of mentorship relationships are like that. But he is the boost behind us. You know what I mean? Without him, we definitely would not be where we are right now. You know what I mean? Even if we had the financial investment, just his sound wisdom, and that's, we both known him for that our whole entire lives from kids. Like, he is a wise man, and, you know, you got to surround yourself with wise people, and thank God that he's in our family. So he gave us such good sound advice, and that alone has guided us so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, whenever it's just like we have like a struggle, or like we're pondering something and we don't know what to do, it's just like, let's just go to Uncle Mark, and he'll have the answer. And he always does.
Yeah.
That's powerful, man.
Yeah, for sure.
But like, speaking of not knowing what to do, you switched your name. What was the original name again? Natural
Roots Global.
Natural Roots Global. What made you?
And you know, we had Free the Roots, but we were scared that if we did that, somebody could take the name.
Fair base.
What do you mean? What do you mean take the name? Like,
Just like
copyrighted or something?
Yeah, like try to steal the name.
Yeah, we didn't launch the website or anything
Gotcha.
at that point.
We weren't.
Oh, so that was, you were like, this is the real fire name, but let's just go with this in the meantime.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I see the play then.
And Natural Roots Global is a fire name too, but it was like we already know Free the Roots is what we're really coming out with. So.
Got you.
We had gone to some like entrepreneurship type classes. They have a place here called what's it called, in downtown Orlando? Startup Studio. And they'll have like entrepreneurs talk and lawyers talk and just different people talk about business. And we had went to a talk, and they were basically like, you know, that's not something you got to worry about, because once you have the idea, it's already like copyrighted or whatever.
Yeah, they said there's like the natural law, or like
trademarked.
It's
trademarked.
I did hear that before. Yeah.
So all you got to do is put the TM.
Because that means like your trademark's pending, and like you're in the process of working on it. And if anyone takes it before it's like registered, they're just dumb, because they're probably gonna get into legal problems. So that fear was kind of like just because we didn't know.
We didn't know.
So, gotcha.
Yeah.
What other type of classes or, you know, YouTube channels were you watching or listening to,
Well,
or still do?
I didn't really. I mean, not saying I didn't watch some YouTube channels, but I like building relationships. Like I like getting personal advice from actual people that I could communicate with. So, my friend Sam, which I know you said you watched like the video of our interview and whatnot, he has an entrepreneur school or just self-development school. And I was a part of his very first semester, and that was before we ever launched. And at the end of the semester, we actually launched Free the Roots. That helped me a lot with training my mindset to be ready to be a business owner. And like everything he told me, I like passed on to Neil. I was like, oh, this is some things that Sam's talking about. Until this day, he's still like actively involved in asking how we're doing, brainstorming strategies about how we can grow and stuff like that. So I mean, from our uncle to Sam to various people around us, entrepreneurship I don't really believe it's something you can do alone. You know what I mean? You need people who are also there growing with you and giving you advice. I mean, even like our camera, our photographer, our videographer, Tristan.
Shouts out Tristan.
Shouts out Tristan.
Shouts out Tristan.
Yeah, I mean, you guys might see an interview with him soon, but he's an entrepreneur too, and I came to know him through Sam, and it's like, when you're an entrepreneur, surround yourself with other entrepreneurs. You know, you get sound advice that way, but that's how, you know, the pre-growth, you know, surrounding ourselves around the right people.
Yeah.
So. I know I definitely would like watch a lot of YouTube, especially when I worked at the greenhouse, because I would do a lot of watering plants, a lot of stuff. So they would let us have our headphones in. So I was just like, you know, I started learning about the stock market, started learning about cryptocurrencies, all that type of good stuff. So I would just like listen to like 2-hour-long entrepreneurship talks, and it definitely helps. It gives you a lot of knowledge.
Absolutely.
And books.
Passively too. You can do something else.
Exactly. And then like when you get a certain number of hours of that just jammed into your brain, it's just like it just clicks. Everything just clicks.
Yeah.
And
Anybody specific? Any books that you would recommend?
Ooh, let's see. One good book for sure. Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Great
Robert
book.
Kiyosaki.
Yes, Robert Kiyosaki. Also his talks on YouTube. He has some good ones. In particular, not really anybody in particular. It would just be just random, just whoever.
Anything on the topic.
If it had like an hour, it had to be like an hour long, so I could just let it play through. And then even a lot of like old mentors from like way back in the day, like the 1940s and 50s, like those principles still hold. So I would listen to talks from them, and it would just be really interesting to hear the different generations. You got to hear all the generations to really get the
So true.
Success leaves clues.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For sure.
People tend to throw out the past a lot. And it's like, how do you think we got here?
Yeah, exactly.
So
exactly, bro. That's how we learn, you know. There's nothing wrong with innovating, but you know, a lot of the innovators, they learn from the ones that came before them. So
the principles will still be there always.
Absolutely. So I want to get back into the products.
Okay.
So Nick, I know you're the scientist. I know you don't want to admit that you're a scientist, but you worked in a lab, so I ain't trying to hear all that. So as the one that, you know, is the main one who's hands-on with the ingredients, like how did you decide like coffee in one of your soap bars and like, you know, things like spirulina and like what
lemon juice?
Yeah.
You know, I can't even really explain it. It's just I just always been a creative individual, so I just am like, what don't I see? Like, what don't I see? I want to try it. Also, in formulating natural soaps, you have to pick natural colorants, and like, it's not like a lot of these other companies, they can just go get some artificial colorants and make whatever colors they want. I gotta really like explore, like in my mind, and really think about it to see what can I use that's gonna bring out the proper colors. So like with the cinnamon bar, it was like, you know, I want it to be brown. How can I get the best brown? Coffee, duh. So it was just like little stuff like that. Like with the cool lemon, it was just like, I tried lemon juice and it actually gets it really light, so that's why I had to add the calendula. So what I do is I make the lemon juice in calendula tea, and the calendula imparts a color onto the lemon juice, and then brings out like that cool lemon color. So
what is calendula?
It's a flower.
Okay, gotcha.
So, and then like clays, like in Nature's Medicine, and some of our other bars we have clays. Clays are always great. So yeah, that's really how I came up with the various things, and just trying something different. That's really what I'm big on, is
experiment.
Yeah, experimenting and
like a scientist, right?
Exactly. maybe a little bit.
So,
a little bit.
Have you guys ever considered doing like a lotion or like a body butter or anything like that?
You know, that's coming eventually. It's really whatever our community wants.
Gotcha.
You know, we're really big on asking the people their opinions on stuff, because we want their opinions, because that's what we do it for. We do it for them. So, you know, what they want matters. So if they want, you know, a lotion, then we'll give them a lotion. If they want a hair balm, if they want all of it, we'll give them all of it. It just takes time to actually, you know, add products and whatever. And it's just me and him that work on the business right now. So
Wow.
yeah, so that makes it a little tougher with adding products, but
For now.
it'll come in time
Making
for
changes.
sure.
Word.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever butt heads when it comes to business?
Yeah, for sure.
It's always good when we do though.
Okay.
Especially
I don't think you can avoid it.
Right,
honestly.
right.
I mean, there's a difference between healthy arguments and unhealthy arguments.
Mhm.
Healthy arguments get to a growth point. You know what I mean?
Can't be any ego involved.
Exactly.
It has to be for the bigger purpose of the brand.
And that's the
Exactly.
pointless arguments are ego-driven arguments to where you're not trying to listen, you're just trying to prove your point.
And then after you'll sit here and think about it, and then you'll come back, the next day and cool it off and have a proper discussion or whatever.
Yeah.
But really, it's not even arguments. It's just
Discussions.
heated discussions because you're passionate about it, and you have your opinion, and they have their opinion, and it's like, how do we get to a common ground where we can both agree?
If we passively just set our points to each other, we're just gonna. We're gonna be, oh, okay. It's yielding to everything.
It's like, do we really care?
If we're really passionate, we're gonna push the best result. At the end of the day, it doesn't have to be what either of us are talking about. It just has to be the best result. Something good has to be born out of it. And I don't know if I know you remember the UCF days. We used to go into UCF classrooms, after hours. So, and we would just set up our computer, have business meetings there.
Classrooms because they would just have the doors open.
Yeah, I was like,
so
I
nice
go to class here,
classrooms
so I was
too.
like, I know how to get in. So, and there would be these big classrooms. We literally connect our computer, have it on the monitor, have full-on business meetings. I remember one time, we're fighting about our eventual product lines, right? And I was like, Nick, you're not getting it. I pulled out chairs. And I was like, if this is one product line, this is gonna lead to this. And I had a whole entire chair model of how I wanted the product line to be. And he was like, nah. He went out and he laid the chairs out his way. Like it would be the most artistic arguments.
Like one time he just got a bunch of sticky notes and wrote out this whole map and just like put the map on the ground, and I'm just like in my apartment, I'm just like, okay, like in the kitchen it's just spread out this giant map of sticky notes.
I remember that. And it's like
this is sounding. I'm sorry to cut you off. This is sounding like the Social Network, like the type of deal.
Sometimes it
like the
felt
movie,
like that,
Yeah. we got big plans, so we got to be big conversations,
Sometimes it would just feel like there's so much pressure, like, and nobody's putting pressure on us except ourselves. But it's just like, we just got to figure this out, like, definitely our initial ideas. Your initial ideas don't always become your final ideas. You gotta have initial ideas. It'll lead step by step to the final idea. So sometimes we'd be putting a lot of pressure trying to. We're the end's here. We started here, and we're like right here, but we're thinking we're close to the end. And we don't even realize we're nowhere close to the end. But that's what entrepreneurship and just being creative and building your own things all about.
Man, it's like building a river, right? You building a river, you want the best river ever, trying to get the flow right. You don't even know it's meant to be an ocean. You don't even know that, but it happens though. So it's like you have to be open to that. If you're so caught up in how you want things to be, it's just going to overflow. So you know what I mean? You have to be open to different ideas that aren't your own.
For sure.
So, but I gotta say, we definitely argue a lot less now because this is, for us, it's grind time. We're looking to get into a facility, looking to hire people. This is the growth season of our business. So we're more unified in mindset now than we've ever been because it's just so clear what we need to do next. But if the time's gonna come where it won't be like that. You know what I mean? To where there's a lot of different directions you could take, and that's the best time to have healthy, heated discussions. So there's a time and place for everything.
Yeah. Wow, that's a lot said right there. I hope y'all paying attention. That's bars right there.
Bars.
Man. So back to products. Like right now, you have the soap, you have the mist, and that we're using as a microphone right now, and you have the ACV. Or no, you have
Not
ACV
yet.
coming.
Not yet,
but
It's on the way, right?
it's coming. It's coming. Definitely soon.
Word.
I don't want to put a date. On it, but look for it by the end of this year for sure.
Okay.
Black Friday.
It'll be
I don't know.
It'll be the best ACV to use in your locks because a lot of the ACV out there is really strong. So this is gonna be more of a mild but still get the job done.
Got you.
Yeah. Like
Got you.
a lot of ACV, which if you read a lot of
Apple cider
articles on-
vinegar. Apple cider vinegar.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Good stuff to use in your locs. for
Exactly. A lot of places online will say only use this like once every 3 months or once every half a year. If they're saying that, that's probably because the ACV is so strong, it's so acidic. So they're guessing that it's going to damage your hair if you use it more often than that. With ours, you'll be able to use it a lot more because it's going to be more mild. And when you use it
I
regularly,
use it weekly.
yeah. And
Oh,
when
wow.
when I
use
had
it as
it,
my conditioner.
yeah,
Wow, I've
Like,
never
I don't
heard
even use
that.
conditioner. I just use
You know,
base.
low-key he
Wow.
needs to slide me some more. But when he did give me some, I was using it literally before every wash day, and I wash my hair every week right now. So and when you do that, you don't really have to worry about doing an ACV rinse because I sprayed his on. I would like just coat my hair in it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to worry about that because you're beating residue all the time. So it's like you don't have accumulated residue. That's why you have to do ACV rinses because you have accumulated residue, and you can't use strong ACV all the time because you're gonna burn your scalp.
And
Burn your skin,
too.
exactly, because it's
Yeah.
gonna come down on your forehead. So with our ACV, you're gonna be able to use it a lot more, beat residue all the time, and you're going to be able to get the other benefits of ACV. It's not just beating residue.
And spray it on, which I feel like is important. I used to hate
Yeah.
like back in the day where like before I even thought of stuff like this, where I would put the ACV into the sink and leave my hair in there
Break
and
up
let
your
it
neck.
soak and
Dude,
all that. It would
That
get
don't
annoying.
hurt.
and it
I just
would-
did one a couple weeks ago, man. It's not fun.
Exactly. It makes me not want to do it as much. But when it's in a spray bottle, it's just like, oh, after I wash, I can just finish it off with some ACV, boom, put some water in it, call it a day. Easy.
Can't wait for that.
Mm.
And you know our
Me too.
community wants it. So
Yeah,
that's
we
it.
do. I'm a part of the community. We want it.
I mean, low key, we're part of the community too. If you think about it,
True.
We ain't on the outside.
That's a fact.
Yeah, that's a big thing. It's definitely, if I wouldn't use it, then I wouldn't sell it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, when it comes to ACV rinses, most people, they use baking soda mixed with it. They get the lime juice, the salt water maybe. But y'all recommend not to use baking soda, at least
Mixed
combined
in
with
the
the,
ACV.
you
Yeah,
want to
you
use
do
them
use
separately.
separately, yeah.
Could you break that down for me,
It
Mr.
creates-
Scientist?
It's a chemical reaction that creates a completely different substance. That's not going to be as effective as just using them. And I'm not saying don't use baking soda. I personally don't use baking soda.
It's very
'cause
drying.
ACV
Yeah.
does me fine, but if you want to use baking soda, that's fine. Just use it separate, like before or after. I guess I would probably say after.
Well, Nick, you can speak also on the pH value of why it doesn't make sense to mix acidic and basic.
So yeah, baking soda is a strong base, or not strong, but it's a base, and ACV is a strong acid. So mixing those two together, it's gonna make it neutral. Basically, the benefits of ACV is really the acidity of it. So yeah.
And
that's
the benefits of baking soda is the basic part of it. But the only okay, so we're not against baking soda.
no.
However, there's a time and place for everything. Baking soda is really for when you have residue that you can't get out of your hair. Then we recommend doing an ACV rinse, then a baking soda rinse after separately to beat the residue. Because baking soda doesn't really add that much more health benefits to your hair. All baking soda really is the salt side of soap. Because salt has, soap has salt and glycerin.
He sounded like the
Natural
scientist now.
Well, I have to do so much research on this stuff because and you teach me a lot. But it's you have salt and glycerin, and baking soda is more so the salt side of it. So the salt side of it is really the drying out side of it. That's why baking soda will literally strip everything out of your hair and dry it out. That's why you don't really use it for health benefits the way you would use ACV. But if you need to get residue out of your hair, it's a good addition to the
or like
overall
dirt
routine.
or like sand or
Yeah.
yeah.
What is glycerin? Because I see there's in Whole Foods, they have a rose water with glycerin, but I always get the one without it because I just don't know what it is.
No. Glycerin is good.
Glycerin's
Okay.
great.
Yeah, it's very
It's all
moisturizing.
natural.
Yeah.
It's a byproduct of soap making actually.
Yeah.
So when the oils and the lye come together, it makes soap and then it makes glycerin.
Or salt and glycerin. I mean, salt is soap.
Yeah. So like we keep the glycerin in our soaps. Our soaps actually just naturally have glycerin, but it's not in the ingredients because we don't put glycerin in it.
Well, we say saponified oils, which kind of explains the whole saponification process, which is making the soap and the glycerin and whatnot.
Yeah. So then so a lot of companies will actually remove that glycerin from their soaps because it makes it feel a certain way that I guess they don't think is attractive or whatever. But glycerin really, have you ever used it?
Not just separately.
Okay.
Just in that rose water bottle that I had.
It really is just it's hard to describe.
Well, don't they
It's-
use
it's
moisturizing?
moisturizing.
Isn't
It's
glycerin in
moisturizing.
in lotions and stuff?
Glycerins and lotions, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's
Yeah.
more the moisturizing side of it. That's why like our soap, it doesn't really dry out your hair like
At
that.
all.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it is not saying you shouldn't use conditioner. Well, if you have Freeforms, you shouldn't use conditioner. Or at least you can use natural conditioners like ACV and
Aloe Vera
and all that stuff.
Aloe's great.
But like we're talking about commercially, like don't use conditioner. But if you have curly hair and you want to use conditioner, like my wife she has curly hair and she uses conditioner still. She uses our soap and then conditioner, but she doesn't use it because the soap's drying out her hair. She does it just to add even more moisture. You know what I mean? But that's one of the most attractive parts about our soap is the fact that it doesn't dry out your hair or your skin. So do you use our soap as body soap too?
Sometimes. I usually use Dr. Bronner's for body.
True,
But
true.
just because it's easier, than using a
Liquid,
bar for me
yeah,
personally.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't use anything but the soap on my hair. Now.
Liquid soap, and see, I feel you on that. I like liquid soap a lot too. So that's something that's in the works.
Ooh.
Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Ooh.
Something-
Yeah,
that's
wait.
I
something
didn't even
that's
think
in
of
the
that.
works.
That's
Yeah.
what's
Wait
up.
for that.
Yes.
That's,
All right, say
Liquid,
less.
like it's just easier. A lot of people
Yeah.
like liquid soap, and that's cool.
Yeah.
I get it.
But
Yeah.
they do have. You guys have the things you can put the soap bar in, don't you?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
what Rami
Soap bag.
Rami soap bags.
Soap bags, yeah.
And the material of it's amazing because it's super strong fibers, and when water touches it, it like strengthens. So it's like it's very good for your skin. I don't use it every single time I shower just because it for some people
It's exfoliating.
it's very exfoliating, and it's Rami could be I guess very rough on your skin, but it could also be smooth at the same time. But for me, I use it for specific areas that I know I have accumulated dirt in, like obviously under my arms, my feet, stuff like that. Stuff that I really want to exfoliate. You know what I mean? Because it will definitely help, and your face, if you like to use it. It'll definitely help with like acne and stuff like that if you use our bars. I would always say specifically Nature's Medicine and Herb Garden, because spirulina is really good for your skin. It's a superfood. And green clay absorbs toxins out of your skin, and that's what Nature's Medicine has. Green clays and essential oil combinations for both are amazing for your skin.
So
That
that's your
combination.
favorite bar?
My favorite bar is Lavender Rain. I've been said that. We haven't released it yet.
I was about to say, where's the lavender rain at?
Lavender Rain is my favorite bar. That's hands down. I nothing compares. Purple clay feels so good on your skin. Okay, I'm not
I
even gonna
beg
get
to
into
differ.
that.
I say the Cool Lemon.
Cool Lemon is my favorite
I say-
smelling
That's what
bar.
I'm using right
I
now.
see
That
that.
cool
It
lemon is
smells
fire.
the best. It smells the best. Yes, I agree. Spirulina is I said spirulina. Herb Garden is my favorite bar to use when it comes to just healthy skin, healthy hair. I personally think that Herb Gardens are our best bar health-wise, but that's because I'm all into spirulina. I'm just so convinced that spirulina is one of the best things that you could put on your skin.
It is.
But
It's an algae, right?
Mhm.
yeah, exactly. And it's a blue-green algae, and this is the green side of it. The bar I gave you, the juniper berry, is the blue side of it.
Got you.
So they're both spirulina, different
okay.
sides. But however, Nature's Medicine is my favorite bar. Like when I'm feeling congested, it's so powerful. The lemongrass, the eucalyptus, and everything, and the eucalyptus and lemongrass combination make the scent so good. It helps clear up my congestion a lot. And if I have bug bites, it always takes it away. You know what I mean? It always makes it feel better. So I use the bars for different benefits. And when my hair is feeling really dirty, I use cinnamon leaf. I still don't know why scientifically. I can't explain it. It just for me and for other people in our community, they say it takes the dirt out better than any other bar. So when my hair is feeling really dirty, I use that. So I use them all for very different reasons.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You had mentioned aloe as a good conditioner before, and I'm all about the aloe, right?
aloe.
Cactus is still something I need to try, but
Yeah.
how often
tried
do y'all?
that before?
Yeah,
Cactus?
nah, I haven't tried it
I
yet.
gotta try that.
Oh.
Yeah, the Nepal cactus.
Really?
You know, like the flat ones.
No, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. People chop those up and do
Okay,
the same
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. So how often do y'all use aloe, if ever?
Well, I mean, given that this is literally just mainly
True.
aloe and essential oils and stuff. I if this counts, I use aloe every single day. But straight out of the plant, I use that probably every 2 days because I grow a lot of aloe.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And I just slice it up with my fingers. I slice it up and I literally just use it on my skin. Like I will miss my face and whatnot because it's really good for acne and I'm trying to have clear skin. And then right after, I put the aloe directly on because the aloe directly from the plant is a lot thicker. You know what I mean?
Gel.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so I love using aloe. It's
So,
my favorite thing.
Word.
So what we used to do is we used to cut the aloe plants, extract the stuff in the middle, strain it through a shirt. and
I got a video on it.
Good
That's
stuff.
got the most views on my channel. That
really?
video, yeah.
That's I
That's
haven't
a-
done that in a long time.
It's like therapeutic for me.
Right? The whole process.
Yeah. It's bigger than just washing your hair. It's
Exactly.
like, you know, you.
Have you ever froze aloe before?
I have not. I heard that's
Okay.
good to do though.
Okay,
haven't.
I learned this from Candace. Candy Loves Locks. But
Shouts out Candy Love Locs.
shouts out Candy Loves Locks.
Shout out Candy Loves Locs.
She she does the same straining thing, and then it also Ayana does this. Ayana's Infusion. Shouts out her too.
Ayana Infusion.
Shout out
Mess with
Ayana
her. Heavy.
Infusions.
Use her skin products. But straining out the aloes, freezing them in little ice cubes in your fridge, and then every day taking out an ice cube and then just putting it throughout your skin. So there's two reasons that's really
that's
good for your
sick.
skin. One, I don't even got to get to it. Aloe's literally like natural gold, you know what I mean, for your skin. When you use cold things on your skin, it literally makes your skin tighter. It's therapeutic. There's a reason
Restricts
people
the
take
blood
cold
vessels.
showers. They don't just do it just for the mental side of it, which it does. It helps you to react to crazy things in life a lot better. So it helps with anxiety when you shower with cold water mentally. But it also helps your skin a lot. So when you do that, you're getting the benefits from the aloe and you're tightening your skin from it being so cold. So if you want healthy skin, do that. I need to do it too.
Interesting.
Can't say that I'm not
That's a
doing
good
it, so
idea. I'm gonna try it.
Yeah.
That's
That
fire.
cold shower thing is really
Oh
true.
man, do y'all know about Wim Hof?
No.
Oh, do some research on Wim Hof. He's a guy where is he from? I want to say like the Netherlands or something.
Okay.
And he's known as the Iceman. So he's done crazy stuff like swam 100 yards in ice cold water straight, like without coming up.
Crazy.
He ran a marathon in the desert with no water.
That's insane.
Like he's just on
He
another
going to
level.
those extremes.
He pushes the limits of the human body and the
so
mind,
interesting
and just
to me.
shows you the capabilities that we have.
That's so interesting.
So he's big into like deep breathing. I'll send you guys a deep breathing technique that he teaches.
Man.
But yeah, it's that in cold therapy. He's all about that, and the cold showers and all that type of stuff. So I think you guys will be into that.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
But what all is in that mist? You said aloe, of course, but
Aloe, essential oils, and then a solubilizer. It's all natural. What it does is it binds the essential oils and the aloe. Because if you don't use a solubilizer, the essential oils are just going to float to the top. So when you're spraying it, you're just going to be pulling aloe.
Yeah.
So the solubilizer distributes it throughout. Plant-based, everything.
gotcha. Because I had
Yeah.
seen that on the ingredients list. I was
Yeah.
just wondering
Yeah.
what exactly it was.
Yeah, don't worry. We will do a blog post on natural solubilizers, and just so everyone can kind of know exactly what that is and whatnot.
Okay.
But I have a theory with natural solubilizers. I'm not going to call this fact, but it's a theory because it hasn't been scientifically proven. But the fact that solubilizers help combine water and aloe with oils, specifically with the one we use, essential oils, when you put it on your skin, I think it helps distribute your oils better. You know what I mean? And having distributed oils is important because when you have acne, a lot of the time it's because your oils in your face and on your scalp, when you have scalp irritations, it's just collecting in one spot. It's concentrated. Concentrated oil is not good for your skin or your scalp. So it helps distribute that, and that's why I use it every single day on my face and my hair to help distribute my oils. And I've been noticing I don't have a lot of scalp pains and whatnot, inflammation,
Itches.
Itches and stuff like
random
that.
Scalp itches.
Yeah, that's from an accumulation of oil and sebum. I don't know if you know what sebum is. Sebum's
stuff
your
that builds up on your hair, natural
oil.
oils,
And then dirt. Sebum, oil. Sebum, oil, and dirt basically just accumulated in one spot. So that's my theory, and it works for me. And everyone that uses it says that it helps them in that type of way. So I think it's fact, but it got to get scientifically proven before I say that.
Got you. All right, so be on the lookout for the blog post then.
Yeah.
But I actually want to get into your website and your Instagram.
Okay.
Have you guys ever heard of this entrepreneur named John Henry? All right. Well, you said what?
What does he do?
He has an insurance company called Loop, like car insurance.
Okay.
Young black dude. He's like 29. Just look him up.
Okay.
But he said something that made me think of you guys, and he said, Instagram is the new website. Website is the new storefront. And the reason it made me think of you guys is because you have so much free game and free value and information on your Instagram that there's nothing wrong with your website. It's great. It's easy to maneuver, but the Instagram is just so much more hands-on, and it's like it's the community,
Yeah.
So do you agree with that, and do you put more time into your Instagram versus your website? What do you think about that?
I'll let him answer that because he handles the Instagram. So
100%. I definitely think the Instagram's a new website. I wouldn't just say Instagram. I'd say just social media platforms in general, which we need to do a better job on that, being more active on Facebook, YouTube. I will make a YouTube, make a Twitter. Pinterest, which we just started doing Pinterest. Pinterest is going to have a very large concentration of helpful tips. You know what I mean? And we're going to be active on that. But it definitely, here's the thing. People aren't going to websites to find information like that. If they do, obviously they're going to Google, reading a blog post, and clicking off. But with Instagram and other social medias, they're willing to browse on it. You know what I mean? Because they don't feel the pressure to buy. And that's the thing. We don't pressure people to buy. We overflow them with information, then they come to their conclusion that would be beneficial if they buy our products. But when people come to a website, they're coming to shop.
Right.
I mean, straight up. So
exactly.
So I 100% agree with that, and I guess we've been implementing that before we actually knew that.
Yeah.
But
this is just natural. It naturally happened that way because it's like that's where all the traffic is. That's where the attention is.
Exactly.
So and your highlights on your Instagram, dude, so much information on there. I was reading it for like however long it took me, 45 minutes, an hour. I was reading every post, and like so go check that out. Check out their Instagram. They teach you how to do a proper ACV rinse. Tips on drying your hair, keeping it moisturized, all of that type of stuff. So go check that out for sure.
And anything else that the community wants to know about, or any questions they have, we're here. We're here to answer them.
I mean, you could ask anyone that DMs us. We will respond to anyone and everyone. You know what I mean? If you have a question, even if it takes us 2 days to get to, we're going to get to it. And the reason it takes us long is because we want to take our time and give you an accurate answer.
Yeah.
And even if we don't give you the right answer, we will lead you to the right question to ask. So it's like we're here to help people. That's why we started the business.
And learn in the process.
And learn exactly.
Because the more you guys learn, the more you're able to help all the other people.
Yes. The best experts are students.
Facts.
So,
Absolutely. So how do you do your packaging and stuff? How does that work?
Man,
it's a lot.
Yeah.
Like when you first start in the business, you don't think that like shipping is gonna be something that's gonna take up so much time, and it takes up a lot of time for sure.
Yeah.
So really, he handles the fulfillment because I'm making the products all day, so he's shipping all day.
Yeah.
And that's really how we break up the work between us.
Yeah. Regularly shipping daily takes about 7 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I have to squeeze everything else I got to do into the rest of the day, but like days like yesterday or whatnot, when we released like Juniper Berry, and it sold a lot. Sold out within a few hours. That's gonna take like a few days That's not one day cannot do all that. You know what I mean? To package all that. It's because
And
like
it's just you.
just me that does the package.
Whew.
Yeah.
Man.
And it's tough. And that's why we're getting the facility and we're like hiring employees and stuff like that, because you know right now we're working so in the business rather than working on the business, and once you make that transition you could grow a lot more. So that's what I'm saying, this is the year for a lot of growth. So yeah. It takes a lot.
And definitely some tips for shipping is create a system.
Yeah.
Really, for anything in your business, create a system, because it makes everything just move a lot smoother and a lot easier. You don't really gotta think too hard about it. You don't have too many errors. So definitely building the system took some time.
Absolutely. And the same thing applies for growing on social media, whether that be Instagram or TikTok, whatever. You know, you build out a system and schedule your posts. It just makes it autonomous, and it just makes it so much easier.
It's so important nowadays.
By the way, I think you guys should really get on TikTok. If you find some free time to do it, I think that's a platform where you will really be able to grow. And just like,
thought about it for
dude,
sure.
I'm telling you, bro. I got like 12,000 followers in 2 weeks.
Really?
Just talking about my hair.
Gosh.
It's like I have a video where, because I do these interviews for YouTube where I'll see somebody random with some locks.
Okay.
I interview him. One dude, my boy Tony, he has like 4 locks.
Really?
And
like wigs?
No, not even wicks. Just 100% freeform, never separated.
What?
They're like down to here.
Man,
He has like
crazy.
4, and yeah, I did a YouTube interview with him, and then I clipped it up and made it into a TikTok. It got 1.2 million views in like 4 days. I was
that's
like,
insane.
geez.
That's insane.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to
gotta
grow you
explore
guys'
that
brand.
option,
Yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure.
I agree
Because
with
the attention on there is so underpriced right now, and it's like it's gonna reach a point where it's gonna be like Instagram, where it's gonna be harder to grow on there. But right now, it's like if you still can get in and like have rapid growth, and be like, oh my god, like, I didn't know this many people were watching.
True.
Yeah, I think that's something to think about for you
Yeah,
guys.
so we're gonna have to
we
explore
did
some
that,
ideas.
look, if we did that as we did with Instagram, the community will grow it with us. You know what I mean? And we are not trying to, you know, dictate all of our content. We want content from other people. You know what I mean? We want to put other people on our platform so we can boost them and grow with them in the process. So we started TikTok. Just know if you got good videos and whatnot, and you want a platform to jump off of, use us. Use us. You know what I mean? We're trying to give knowledge to everybody.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, man. So I like your logo, man. I think it's really on brand, as I said before. What made you go with that? I mean, obviously tree roots, but like, what was the thought process with the logo? Because it's like it's very simple, but it's effective.
Simple was important.
I think, really simplicity, but still visually appealing. You know, I guess it's just one of those creative processes. It's just hard to explain. It was just like, we have a starting point that was not like this, and then through making this, you just learn a lot, and then you also figure out exactly how you want it. Like, you thought you wanted it this way, and then you realize you wanted it actually this way. So
yeah, the initial sketch doesn't really look like this. Because when you do an initial sketch and it gets transformed to like a digital logo, it looks completely different. You can't make a clean transition. I mean, I guess it's possible if you pay enough, but it's hard to make that clean transition. So once it was transformed to, I guess, a digital logo, when we were working with the logo maker, we had to make so many tweaks to it. You know what I mean? And simple is one of our main words. We wanted it to be a simple logo because we don't want to be one of those companies makes a complex one and is constantly changing it, you know. Because if you notice, all logos, as a business grows, they get simplified as time goes on. A logo doesn't get more complex.
Absolutely.
So if you start with something simple, you save yourself a lot of time. So that was our main mindset.
Exactly.
Yeah, simple and hit to the heart of who you are as a brand. So,
Yeah. Look at Instagram's first logo versus today.
Yeah.
Today's more like an outline. The first one was like an actual like camera,
Yeah.
and it had all the details in it.
Doing
It's
too
like,
much.
Too much.
Yeah.
It's like they realize actually it's something easy on the eyes. You know.
Right. A lot of colors,
Picking
simple
font
colors.
is hard.
man,
Picking a font is hard because it's like you go through different fonts and you're just like, I don't know, like it's just not unique enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we actually had to get this font like a bunch of different fonts mix
Yeah.
match into one. So.
And you like own this font? Is that what you did?
No, not even.
Well,
so
no one can really recreate the font because it's so customized.
our logo maker basically, we told her a couple fonts we liked, and she did her thing and just put it on.
It's kind of like if you make a
she's
recipe.
international, so
Okay.
Yeah, but it's kind of like if you make a recipe. It's like if you don't have the ingredients, you don't got the recipe to it, you can't really duplicate it. You can make something similar.
Yeah.
You just can't make the same exact thing. So our font's the same exact.
She
way.
kind of finds it hard to even recreate the font.
Really?
That's how hard it is.
Did you use like Fiverr or something, like one of those platforms?
Yeah, Upwork.com.
Yeah.
Upwork. Okay,
Yeah.
I've heard of Upwork.
Really good stuff. You can get stuff done for an affordable price.
Yeah.
Like if you don't have a bunch of money coming in and you're just kind of bootstrapping,
Yeah.
you can just go get it done.
Yeah.
And find some good quality work for not too expensive. Yeah.
Word. Man, we've been at it for like over an hour now.
What?
Yeah.
Man.
We just passed an hour. That's crazy.
Crazy.
So man, I want to wrap up, but I want to first talk about what the future looks like for you guys, because I want to look back at this interview 5-10 years from now and be like, they said they was gonna do that and they did it. So what does 5 years from now look like for FreeTheRoots?
You want me to go?
I mean, yeah. Our
I would
vision might not
say-
be exactly the same, but it's connected.
I would say like my focus, since I I'm product development, so I would say just to keep releasing products that the community wants, and eventually have a long line of different products, all natural though. Like that's our big thing is, if you can't get it from nature, then I don't want it in my product. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts.
definitely anything plant-based stuff, all that, vegan, all that. So yeah, like the things you were talking about before, like lotions, hair masks, face
We will
masks,
have
just
all that.
whatever the community wants.
Mm. Are you vegan?
I'm not vegan.
Okay, that's
But,
just
yeah,
like
the products will be vegan.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay,
And you gotta have respect for the community.
absolutely.
A lot of our community is vegan. We respect that lifestyle. So
I've been vegetarian times in my life. Wasn't really the lifestyle for me, I guess, but maybe again one day I'll try again. Like I'll just try like randomly. I'll just be like, I don't want to support the meat industry. I don't even want to eat animals. I love animals.
Yeah.
I love plants, all that. So, and then it's just like I'll try it for like a year, and then it's just like, slowly you taste some meat, and it's just like start eating that again, and then before you know it, you're not vegetarian no more. So
Yeah, I've been through that. I'm not anymore. I was for on and off for like 2 years.
yeah,
it's harder on certain body types. I'll be honest.
Absolutely. I'm a pretty high level athlete, I would say. So
Exactly.
it's
very active.
it's tough, man.
Okay.
It's definitely doable.
It's
I
doable.
have a lot of friends who are athletes, and they're really on point with their diet and supplements they take and stuff. So I know it can be done, but for me personally, it's just not. It's not where I'm at right now.
Not right now.
Like you said, maybe one day again.
Exactly.
Maybe. Right now, no. And I love animals, man.
Yeah,
and I hate
for
the meat
sure.
industry.
I hate it.
That's why I try to
hate it.
shop locally as much as I can. And, get all organic and everything. But some things you can't avoid. So
Look, when you're in a broken world, it's hard.
it's hard, man. It's hard.
'Cause, yeah.
So what about you, Josh? What does 5 years look like?
So being on more so the marketing side of things, right now our platform is Instagram, and obviously we want to grow to TikTok and
Pinterest,
continue to grow on Pinterest, grow on Twitter, if that makes sense. Facebook, stuff like that. But we got a Facebook too, but
Facebook is slept on.
yeah, Facebook is
slept
very
on,
slept
man.
on.
It's great
You
for
know,
businesses.
Yeah,
Great.
but that's the social strategy. I feel very weird calling FreeTheRoots a community when I don't, know a lot of people face to face. It feels good to see people who are in the community. You know what I mean?
Thanks.
And we definitely want to start hosting FreeTheRoots events, bring it from city to city. You know what I mean?
We've been talking about this
long time.
years.
Yeah. And kind of have like speakers who have 10 times more knowledge than we do. You know what I mean? About natural products, about how to take care of your hair, your skin. You know what I mean? The brands that we love collaborating with, like Ayana's Infusions. You know what I mean? Have brands like that also come out. You know what I mean? And basically host an entire event, and not really under the FreeTheRoots umbrella, we're just going to facilitate the space. We want to provide the space to give our community a physical interaction, to grow. So that's kind of what the future looks like through my mindset, and definitely possibly having a storefront one day, to where for like with the natural community, a lot of things that we use are perishable, like aloe. If you use aloe straight from the plant, that won't last very long unless you freeze it. So kind of have a natural place for perishable goods where you can go in and have a aloe rinse and stuff like that. Possibly that could be a more possibility, but the FreeTheRoots having the physical community and event, that's a priority. That's a must. So
another big thing is just aiming for a healthier earth. So like, this isn't plastic that's not the best for the earth.
Yeah.
So moving towards, maybe even doing research to find out plastic that's healthier for the earth, like a plastic alternative that you could package stuff in. Just trying to be good to the earth, really.
Look, that's also cost effective, because people that I guess don't have a business, they're like, oh, how come everyone doesn't just convert to these plastics? They're all natural. It's like, yes, but no one figured out the efficient way to produce it.
Mass produce.
And when you don't efficiently find a way to mass produce stuff, it's so expensive to use. Like, yes, everyone wants this to be like natural plastic. Who's willing to pay $40 for this?
Right.
Not. So it's like, it's finding the most effective way to help the earth while we can still run as a business. And that balance is so sustainability. Every company should be striving towards it. So that's what the future. I don't think that's just a FreeTheRoots exclusive thing.
No.
I think all businesses coming up nowadays have the same heart.
A lot of the world is moving. They're realizing that we can't continue going down the paths that we're going down as a world.
We'll burn the earth if we keep going down this path. It's clear. So
we're gonna burn ourselves. The earth gonna be all right.
Yeah,
the earth's gonna regenerate.
Exactly.
It's like,
look, we much more perishable than this earth.
Facts.
So talk about perishable goods.
We are the perishable
Our
goods.
time is ticking. It might not be for a couple thousand or 100 years, but it's.
And if we can just do some things as a people, we can, extend our shelf life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look, we should have communion with the earth that we live in. At the end of the day, the earth provides for us, and we treat the earth like slaves. Like the elements of the earth, we treat it like it's our slave or something. But where's the communion? The earth gives so much to us. We get so much from this earth. The least we could do is give back and take care of it. That's like biting the hand that feeds you. That's what we're doing. We're biting the hand that feeds us, and it just doesn't make sense.
Take it for granted.
Yeah.
Take it for granted.
And a lot of it's greedy corporations. That's why solar is gonna be. It's gonna be some time till it's really implemented. Like, everybody loves solar, but the big dogs aren't gonna let us just love solar and everybody have solar, because then it takes away from them. You know what I'm saying? Like the oil company.
I mean, it's just like hemp. Like, when you understand the industry, like, the Constitution was written on hemp paper. Like, not a lot of people know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
the paper industry. Just so if you don't know why weed traditionally was illegal, the paper industry felt too threatened by the hemp industry. It had nothing to do with the actual like buds. They felt so threatened. They're like, if we make this whole plant illegal, we will overcome the hemp industry. That's why it became illegal, because of hemp, the paper. The same exact thing happens to different forms of energy. You know what I mean? There's so many government regulations that you have to go through to make it widely acceptable and affordable. You know what I mean? So it's the top dogs need to change their mindset, but don't be fooled. People always have the power. I don't care what government you live in. If enough people rise up and want to live a certain way, the people in power have to yield to it.
The people just have to care enough.
That's how it has to go.
The people have to care enough. It can't just be a thought in their mind. They have to be taking actions. If everybody's taking actions, then if everybody's just thinking it, then what's that gonna do?
Yeah, and I'm not saying like rebellion is the way, but there's a certain way to go about rebellion. There's a wise way to rebel.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Rebellion, being rebellious, to me is simple things like recycling. You know what I mean? Reusing stuff. If we as a people, which I'm not here yet and I need to get there, if we refuse to use plastic water bottles, that is rebellious. We're so fooled. We think being rebellious against the government is the way to go. If we were rebellious with industries, things would change a lot quicker. Consumers have more power than we think. So that's the direction we all together need to head in.
Yo, that's a perfect it's a perfect note to end on, man. That was very well said. That's y'all dropped a lot of free game in here, man. I appreciate y'all for coming out and doing this with me.
We appreciate you for coming out.
I really, yeah, for sure, man.
Dog Joe from Tampa.
Hey, man, it is what it is, man. I think it's important that people like us build with each other, you know, like-minded people in a community, like you said. So, on that note, this has been an episode of Dreadlock Talk. I'm your host, Troy Blyden.
Nicholas.
And Josh.
They are FreeTheRoots. Till the next video, like, share, subscribe. We appreciate y'all.
Peace.
Peace.